I plan on making a series of videos on this car, and this is the first one, so I should say I'm not sure yet if this is going to be a disaster or not. But I picked up this E90 for pretty cheap because it was going to the junkyard. It was sitting for over a year, wasn't being used. I was told the timing chain had gone on it, but I have an identical one, and it would be a good parts car for me. But when I picked up the car, I was told that it would start, but it just wouldn't stay running. That doesn't jive with a failed timing chain, so I needed to inspect some more. Got it home, and this is what I found. I opened the hood and I found the serpentine belt to be shredded up like spaghetti and oil all over the place. In fact, it wasn't just a drip like from the oil filter housing, it was a spray, and it was coming out of the oil filter cap. So I think the oil was just shooting out, getting onto the belt, ruins the belt, that breaks up, leads to more problems, and the car was just sidelined. I have a feeling that someone did an oil change and just forgot to put in the O-ring. But I'm going to start by disassembling so I can clean the engine compartment, take all the remnants of this belt out, and pull off that pulley, because on this car it's a known thing where that belt can get sucked into that front, pushed in, or pulled in I should say, into that front seal. And so that pulley's got to come off to inspect that before we do anything else. Step one here is removing this air box, and this is what you'd be doing if you were changing your air filter. There's two 10mm bolts on the right hand side. There's a little connector. You use a pick to pull up the tab and pull it off. A flat screwdriver will let you unscrew the clamp there, and then you can just pull this up and off. It'll pop off of the air intake tube that's in the front. This plastic here that brings the air in, that's just held on by two Torx screws towards the front. You can undo those and take this right out. If you look down here, you can see the pulley, or I should say the harmonic balancer, pretty rusty. So when I remove that, I'm going to replace it with a new one. This entire fan and shroud's going to come out, and it's really easy to come out, but that's going to get inspected. First though, I want to take off this oil cap because I have a feeling that there's no O-ring. Originally, I thought maybe the O-ring was just missing. This oil was spraying out from there. But when I took this out, I found the O-ring was there. It was just flattened out. This may have been gone through a few oil changes and they never changed the O-ring, which is pretty silly. In this situation here, this filter, you want to come out, you want to check it. Check it for little bits of metal. And more importantly, in this case, I'm checking it for little bits of rubber, little pieces of black rubber that would have been shredded up and would have gotten through the engine somehow. And luckily, this thing looks pretty clean with regard to that. What I'm doing here are basically the steps for an oil change. I'm going to sop up a little bit of this oil that's still in there, and I'm going to replace the filter. I'm not sure if that O-ring was kind of flat, which I guess was the issue, but I'm not sure if the cap itself was a problem. So I'm going to replace the cap as well with one of these aftermarket ones. I like the way they fit, I like the way they look, and most importantly, they're easy to take on and off. I'll put a link to it below, and most importantly right now is to make sure you take out that center portion of the original cap and snap it into place in this one. You want to, of course, make sure you lube up both O-rings and snap them into place. When torquing these down, there's really no reason to over tighten. In fact, they're designed to meet up exactly where they're supposed to, meaning the outer lip on these caps, whether it's the OEM or this aftermarket one, lands perfectly on the surface of that oil filter housing. Once you get there, you're done. The next portion, which is replacing this harmonic balancer, I wasn't able to get on film, but it's a very easy fix and you can Google some videos on it. But basically, you want to pull this off and inspect that front seal whenever you have a belt break like this, because it can get pulled through that front seal, get into your engine, and then cause some catastrophic failures. In my case, my seal was actually pretty good shape, so all I did was replace the pulley itself, and there's only 6 Torx head bolts to do that. With that done, I drained the oil, refilled, and I was able to get this car running really nice just with these few little repairs. Now it's time to really check what else is going on with this car. I let the car idle for quite some time, no overheating issues, engine sounded great, surprisingly nothing leaking. I'm really happy so far. Now with the car running, I was able to scan it and I found a ton of codes. But that's okay, we're going to do this step by step and bring this car back to life. First thing I want to tackle are all the codes related to the electrical system. There's so many that unless there's some damaged wiring, you shouldn't be that way. And I remember that the people told me they bought a new battery. So I checked and I saw that it was never registered, and that by itself could lead to some issues. So we're going to tackle that first. I'm using my scanner here to go in and register the battery, and if you're going to do any kind of DIY work, you really should have a good capable scanner. I'll put a link to a few of them below. But here, when I register the battery, it shows that this is the only time a battery has ever been registered. This car still thought it had the original battery. That by itself caused some issues. But upon rescanning, I saw it still had a few things going on, like this. The IBS shows that the alternator is missing. In fact, the car thinks the IBS is missing altogether. That caused me to inspect the battery, and when I did, I was shocked. The positive terminal was loose. It was you could move it a little bit on the post. When I looked at the distribution block up top here, it wasn't even, the nut was completely missing. It wasn't bolted down. That was completely flopping around. That's going to cause some issues. I could see that the IBS connector, the one that's on that dark blue part, that wasn't even plugged in. And the worst was the negative terminal. It didn't even have the right bolt. Someone must have replaced the battery, lost the bolt, put a new one in. But the bolt you need for this, it has shape of a T, and it causes the device to clamp itself on the post. It was missing. I'll put a link to these below. You can get them for cheap off of Amazon, but you want to use this to make sure your terminal is clamped properly. Did that, plugged in the IBS, and rescanned. For some reason, I still had the issue where the alternator was missing, and I think that's caused by the oil that sprayed all over the engine compartment and possibly ruined the alternator. So we're going to be doing that in this next video. You can click below to see that.